That there's all my hopes and dreams for this pig hunting season, brothers. Jonny. Jonny is a gift. He comes from a mate. Richard. Richard spent a year making Jonny into a brilliant pig dog. The last week Jonny's seen 3 boars. Just picked him up from Geraldine a couple of days ago. And how lucky am I to have a mate that made up a dog for me. Sometimes you need some good luck, don't you, Jonny, eh? Well, you're with the right pack now. He's bonded with pace, and it's Wednesday today. I still haven't got my permit. I'm waiting for it. I've got 3 keen young guys that are coming with me. One of those young guys is Daniel up there. I've just shouted him a permit from 141. I'm waiting for that to arrive too. And 2 more keen young fellas. When I say young, sort of a teenager and another one. So pig hunting is what we do. And it's a way of testing ourselves, testing our grit, testing our dogs, and also bring some meat home to feed people. And Daniel was helping me build the log cabin right now and doing the lion's share of it. In fact, I should say building the log cabin, because he's been working on it solid while I've been away. I've done nothing the last couple of weeks other than a few poles. He's a meat eater, and so I cook him every night a meal. It's part of the just staying with me, and I have a lot of people I cook for. And Daniel's a big eater. He's a big worker. He's a hard worker. He's a brilliant worker, and he's been now working on this log cabin for coming here from Christchurch from his home and getting stuck into the job. I'll show you where we're up to so far, and I'll talk a bit more about Jonny. I just ran Jonny through these sheep right now. Not even slightly interested. That's what we like to see. Come on up, come on. This week I've been over to Waihopai Valley and picked up a pup from my mate Kim. She's a pig hunter, and she bred a really good line, and the father of that line comes out of this dog right beside me here. Nut, he was the dad, weren't you, boy, eh? He's been a really good pig dog in his day. He's worked for a professional pig hunter, caught a lot of pigs, hundreds and hundreds of pigs. You've caught a few too, haven't you, Poe? So I picked up this pup and I took it to Geraldine and gave it to my mate Richard. And if you haven't read Richard's book, Dogs and Boars, it's worth a read. Good book. No bullshit, good stories. Lots of hardy boars in it, and some really funny stories too. So I dropped that pup off to him and picked up Jonny, who's now joined our pack and fitting in really well with all the other dogs, as you can see. He's got no bad habits I've seen. Richard's done a really good job in training, and the best thing is he's got good ears. When you call him, he comes. Hey Jonny! Hey Jonny! Good boy! Good dog! Good boy! Every time. That's just to show you the training that's gone into him every time. Good ears. Good dog. Never needed a hot collar. And like all of other Richard's dogs, catches pigs. 12 months old, he's still a pup, still learning. He's probably seen, I'm sure by now in his 12 months with Richard, he's seen easily 100 pigs. I mean, Richard catches a couple of hundred a year, so that's easily 100 pigs he would have seen, probably more. Good dog. So we're building a log cabin, which was a pipe dream years ago. I started like 3 years ago. I bought the logs and dried them out, and now we're at the stage today. Daniel's put some stain on them, he's put stickins on them, and we're about 6 logs high now. It's looking bloody good. She's looking grand. That sticken stain on the outside is going to protect the logs, but also just looks really cool. Daniel's in there now. Each log's put up for scribing, and Daniel will scribe around there. This will come down flush and sit on top of this one. Sitting on damp course, and each log has got wool in between it. You can see there we've got actually llama wool on that one. I painted bitumen on the concrete slab just to keep the weather off, and you can see how beautifully Daniel's got them all fitting together. Nice. This log is sitting up here. I did that whole log with I had COVID at the time. Actually, I was feeling like shit, and I knew I shouldn't have worked, and I water blasted it and got the chainsaw out and I cut all the knots out of it, and then I got all the bark off it, and then I went over with the planer and I spent a couple of hours planing it, getting it right. And I'm going to now go and scribe it myself. Daniel said, you want to scribe this one? So I'm going to do that now. I'm not going to film that because I've got to hold the scribe and not the phone, but there's a process there. And the whole process is actually on my Patreon. We're showing the whole making of the log cabin, how to do it, and later I'll release a video on public for everybody to see how we did it too, just an end finish one. But it's been a real learning curve for me. It's a lot more work than you think. Right, put these dogs away. Johnny, every time I put your bed in there, you take it back out. What's the story, mate? It's supposed to be in your box, eh? Here you go, bro.
Car.
So what Daniel's doing here is he's just aligning this and setting it up for scribing. They've got to be flush, and where you don't have something to hang it on, he's got to make something to put it on. Like here, there's going to be a doorway here, so the log will only go up to here, so he's got to put that in to make it, like such, and that's in position. I'm going to scribe this log here, and it's already in position for scribing, but I'm not going to film it because I've got to hold the camera, obviously. I've scribed this one here, and I can tell you guys, it's a lot bloody harder than it looks. So give me some appreciation of what Daniel's done here. And I've also scribed the whole log. Daniel's taking it down now, right across. It's ready for chainsawing. Each end goes in the cradle. You can see where I've marked it here, and when you're running the pencil over these knots, it's not easy. So it's the whole piece cut out down here, and right underneath the log, it's also going to get cut out, which is going to match the other log. So this project here has been an amazing learning curve for me, watching Daniel and learning from him, but having an appreciation of just how bloody hard it is to build a log cabin. I've thought about it often and watched videos on YouTube, but when you start doing stuff, it's hard work. Building something like this, easy, piece of piss. Log cabin, multiple angles, every log's different, and every log's got to be like treated and be mucked around with and played until it's in a way that you can actually use it, because it starts off like that with bark and shit all over it. Half of them are rotten. We put them on there, and then we knock everything off them and plane them and do all the rest, and then you can find out halfway through you started working on it, it's got rot in it. That'll do, Johnny, that'll do. The Toyota Land Cruiser. I've been mucking around with this old girl, thinking about maybe using it this year again, getting her fired up. It's a truck I bought years and years ago. Still goes. Hasn't had a warrant of fitness since 2019. That's the last one she had on her. And we put this stuff out of a fridge at the back just to stop the dogs jumping through. The young guys are sitting in the back, and we go hunting. And look at this. There's an old hunting permit in here that's dried up from years ago that been carried around the truck. Jeez, that was my hunting permit from 2019. Anyway, Toyota Land Cruisers are now coming out in a 4-cylinder. It's a 2.8 this year, and they're around $80-something thousand brand new. Now when you consider that a new ute is about 60 odd for a Toyota Hilux, 65, don't know, I haven't actually looked at the price of them, but the ute's not too far away if you're going to 4-cylinder. I've always wanted a V8, but the thing is, the 4-cylinders are actually bloody powerful. They're good donkeys. They go really well. So, been looking at those and having a wee dream. But the reality is, this thing here is there's nothing wrong with this truck. We're going to try and get this one going as well. Again, there's a few wee jobs that need doing, a few things that need replacing. Lights need to be done on it. Blankers, actually most of the lights need to be replaced, and it needs a lot of rust cut out of it. But it's not a bad old cruiser all the same for taking boys out in the forestry. So I did this road trip, and I went down south, and I went and saw my mum. And it was sad, because she's getting old, you know, she's in her 80s, mid-80s, and just seeing your mother like that there, I pulled up to the house and she was asleep in the sun, she had her head down, and I saw her there and I said, oh jeez, Mum, all these years. And our mothers, man, what can you say, our mothers are the best. They make the ultimate sacrifice with their bodies to have children, deplete some of their calcium and all the hormones. And when they're making a baby, everything goes out of them into us, and then they raise us and they put everything into us. And my mum also raised my nephew Mikhail, and he drowned just over a year ago, and she's got a room there that was for Mikhail, and I saw the room and saw all those things in it, and I thought, how hard has this been for my mother, the loss when he drowned a year and a half ago, and how much that knocked her, and it knocked us all. I mean, we all got knocked because it was our family. And this is what happens, you know, you go along through life and something comes along and it fucking knocks you. And it knocks you hard, and you don't always bounce back. And Mum hasn't really bounced back. She's still carrying that pain, and people say you got to move on from that. Bullshit. You don't just move on from somebody you've loved. You don't just move on. you take them with you. You move forward with them. You don't move on and leave them behind. Yeah, they're dead, but they are with you in spirit. They may not be with you in body, but they're with you. So you move forward and you carry their memory, you carry their love of who they are. You don't just reject everything, go, okay, that's the past, I'm going to forget about that. You can't. It's part of what your life is. And as you get older, you accumulate these hurts and these things that come along and these losses, and you carry them with you through your life. They're not water off on a duck's back, not just, forget about that guy's dead. Well, I can't do that. And so as you go through life, you endure these emotional feelings of loss of people that you love, that you lose through one means or another, and it serves as a very, very clear reminder to me and to all of us that we too will come to that point of death, that irreversible, cannot be changed, nothing can bring you back. Once you're gone, once that's happened, that's it. And all your education and everything you've achieved and all you've created and everything you've done, every thought you've had is completely gone, bang. And that's the end of that. It's over. And it's good to think about that, because it reminds you that in this moment now, while you're here, this is so precious, and this is what we have right here and now. And to cherish that, even if you're going through a hard patch, cherish it, because it will all end. It's definitely going to end. And what comes after that, no man can say 100%. You can have a faith that Jesus will take you to heaven, or if you believe in Jehovah, or you can have whatever your faith might be, but there's just absolutely no way of knowing until that moment comes. And everyone's got their own belief in that, and that's their belief, and that's their faith or their trust, or not. They might believe in nothing at all, whatever you have, but that's private to you. But it doesn't stop what's going on in this life right now, or change it for the fact that we're all going to suffer losing people we love. And seeing my mum, and it's in the sun the other day when I pulled up in Christchurch, I looked at her and I just thought, geez, Mum, you've aged. And I guess really aging is a luxury not everybody gets to have. Not everybody makes old bones. So I went to Christchurch and I did a few things for my mum. I put a new heater. I bought her a new heater because her old one was dangerous, and tidied a few things up and made a list of things I need to go and fix when I go there again. Gave her a big hug and a kiss. Made sure that the nurse that's visiting on her had all the stuff she needed to know about my dear old mum, and just drove away feeling sad. She's my mother, and thinking, this is what often happens. You get older and you end up alone, and that's by her choice. I've offered many times to come and live with me at the old farmhouse, but she's got her house and she's actually happy. It's actually me that's looking and feeling sorry. She's actually bloody happy. She is. She's got a garden, and she's happy with her life, and she loves the smallest things, like a bird landing on the fountain, and a new flower popping up in the garden, or the autumn leaves falling around the house, or a walk on the beach. These small things make her very, very happy. And so by me looking at her and thinking, oh, Mum, but really that's just my projection, she's actually pretty bloody good. And there is a curvature that we have in life. You start off really happy, and then you go through life and it gets hard and it gets sort of shitty, and then things happen and cool things happen. You fall in love and you get a house, you get a mortgage, you work, you have kids, and you go through this curve and then come out the other side. And then as you get older again, you actually start to get happy again. It's called the happy curve. You start off happy and you dip, it's like a smile. It goes down and then goes back up. So getting older, you could actually be happy, and it could be quite good. The best thing I think is about aging is aging with good health, or at least trying to age with good health. And that's what we all anticipate to do. Anyway, sitting here in the old Land Cruiser, having a talk with you brothers and the occasional sister. That's just what's going on right here today. Tomorrow I've got an MRI, which I'm paying for myself, because the hospital said there were people with greater need that were on the waiting list than me, but they don't know what my need is. I've had what I think has been told is probably pericarditis for 5 months, but ain't getting any better, and I wanted some more answers. And I said, well, we need to look inside me and make sure that's what it is, because I don't want to keep on taking coltracine and other medications that are toxic if I'm actually treating the wrong thing, if I don't have a clear diagnosis. And they said, well, there's other people that have greater need, but having pain when you have in your chest there, that's a pretty big need. So I've just bit the bullet, $3,500 or $3,200 for an MRI. And it's like, yeah, I'm just going to bite the bullet and pay for it. This is the third time I've had to pay for my own MRI. And the last two, one was cancer and one was heart disease, and it showed them both up as being there. So I think it's important to know what's going on, otherwise you can't treat it. And I treated the cancer and treated the heart disease, and now I want to treat what this is, but I can't treat it if I don't know what it is. So that's me tomorrow, so wish me luck for my MRI, and I'll know probably in a week after that, by the time the radiologists have read it all and done their stuff and their reports and got back to my doctor. Anyway, I still maintain, keep away from your doctor, look after yourself as best you can, and just use them for acute problems. And this is an acute problem. Well, it's actually chronic now, because 5-6 months I've still had it. It won't stop me going hunting this weekend, but it'll slow me down a bit, so I need to get on top of it. Okay, that's just me and my shit. I hope you and your shit's going okay, and you're keeping on top of it too, and being proactive at looking after yourself. Remember, squeaky wheel gets the oil. You've got to keep on pushing your own barrow, whatever it is, you're looking after yourself, and make sure that you get the right care. On another note, I'm thinking about putting something on my truck so the dogs don't slide off there. Putting a bit of, not Velcro, but just some of that mat. I might put some of that grip stuff on, because I like to put my dog up on the bonnet occasionally. I'm not a bonnet hunter, but something occasionally I like to do. Anyway, brothers and the occasional sister, that was just me having a bit of ramble today. Catch you on the next one. Go steady. And check on a brother if you know a brother who's struggling, and check on yourself too. And I'll catch you very soon. See you later.